Hello everyone, and welcome back to episode 3 of my Pokemon Colosseum Let's Play. Last time, we came over here to Dual Square and grabbed a whole bunch of shadows off of these random people, and learned that if we participate in the stadium here, the stadium challenge, we'll be given a shadow Pokemon potentially without having to capture it from another trainer. So let's head over to the Colosseum or stadium. Uh-oh. What is this? Someone. There's trouble. Help me. The chief's inside. Silva came in. Uh-oh. What did Silva do? Ow, that Silva's gone too far this time. He ripped out and ripped off one of the gears. Colosseum's gonna be without power. Chief, are you alright? Yeah, the only thing bruising my pride. It was only Silva, so I wasn't expecting any trouble. Huh? But isn't Silva Duking's trusted lieutenant? What's his motive for doing this? That's what I want to know. He was ranting about how the Colosseum can just shut down or something. Sorry to worry you, younglings. Thanks. I'll be fine now. But I need to ask for a favor. Will you hear me out? I mean, the cops are here, so sure. If the Colosseum loses power, the whole town suffers. I need you to find that gear Silva ran off with. I'm counting on you, younglings. Okay. Find a gear. Stood up. Silva, you must have been driven to desperation. Well, rather than run around and check every gear, I already know where the gear is because, again, this is not the first time I played this game. So he ran over and just dumped it at a construction lot. Can already see it in the corner, shiny. Some guy came wandering by a while back. He threw out some trash and then took off. What's this place look like? It's no garbage dump, that's for sure. Found the gear for the windmill. Okay. Terribly sorry, Chief. You're sure you're okay? Yep, I'm fine. No need for all the worrying. Good, that's good. But Silva, this is an outrage. No, I reckon he agonized over this and did it because he thought it right. I can't blame the man for that. Enough about that, Duking. Instead, I think you should look over there. What? You people? I reckon you might want to be saying thanks, Duking. That's the gear. You found it for us? What amazing luck. I'll ask you to excuse me for my behavior earlier. You seem to be people who are worthy of trust. You have my sincere thanks. Alright, I'll get you to slot that gear snugly back in that gap where it belongs. Oh, the gear's missing. Key item. Here, let's use. All done. Standing by. Let it roll. Oh, 30 long years of cranking gears. Oh, yeah. Ah, this is the way it ought to be. Things are fine now. I can tell that you're a man of courage and honor. I have a favor to ask. Will you hear me out? Yes, because a character that was, up until the start of this game, a member of Team Snag'em, which is a criminal organization specializing in stealing Pokemon from other trainers, is a man of courage and honor. Sure. I'm grateful. I want you to enter the next Colosseum battle. I need you to win the knockout challenge and find out what is going on there. I can tell from a glance that you're no ordinary trainer. I know you can win. I'm sorry, but help me. I mean, I was probably heading there anyway before this happened, so... Yes. Totally an upstanding citizen. That is not at all committing terrible, terrible crimes in the name of good. Now... do I want my team to sit like this? Actually, this is an option for an explainer. I'm gonna have Espeon and Umbreon in front. But, well, in these challenges, because it's a tournament, your entire team is healed after every match. It's 4 rounds, basically. Battle 1, Battle 2, Semi, and Finals. This one, as part of the story, is lower level than all the others. And if you manage to, like, when you finish or beat this for the story, if you attempt it again, the levels of the enemies, instead of being level 30, they'll be jacked, I think, to 40 for Pyrite. Is that each of the stadiums in the various cities have their own set level brackets. Oof. I have made that mistake. Well, first time was just true mistake, second time was more just me forgetting. Where I would immediately walk right back in here, not realizing what level it was at. So walking in with a bunch of level 30s when the targets are 40 plus. I mean, I think I still won, but it required basically using my entire team every time. And the only reason I really did is because this place has Pokemon like Sandshrew, who are really weak. And so it's like, even though they had the level advantage over me, the Pokemon I was using were just that much, such better quality of Pokemon that I actually could take them on. Somewhat. Again, I still needed like my entire team, if I remember correctly. Oh, I don't... I think of those 2 times, I think I only managed to reach the finals once of the 2 times. Or maybe I'm misremembering. I don't know. I took the guy out, and all I took was damage from Poison Sting. Not exactly hard. Oh, actually, that is one thing that the Colosseums are good for. While I could have done it for this one because of the low level of the story mode, for most of the stadium battles, if you walk in there, if you have 2 Shadow Pokemon you want to Purify, because you're getting 4 battles one after another, you can just throw out your shadows and then just chain swap them out, and even if they faint at the end, who cares? Because you're gonna get it all back at they're gonna be fully healed for each match. And you don't need to walk around and find them or anything, you just swap in. So the only annoyance at that point would be as if you keep getting Hyper Mode. Damn! Why do you keep critting? Espeon's been hit by so many damn crits. It's incredibly... Yes, Espeon is not defensive. And I know this AI is not smart. At least most of the AI opponents. I'm sure some of the boss levels, or the boss characters, are intelligent because they actually have... Their teams have strategies and they actually follow through on the strategies. Or maybe not smart so much as better scripted, I guess it's better. But the fact that so many times the AI has targeted Espeon and either one-shot or gotten a crit that's taken out more than half its health with an attack that's not even that strong normally. When the same attack could go against Umbreon and Umbreon would barely lose 5 health. Well, already 2 rounds down. Vilch. That... I don't recall whether or not I mentioned it in the first episode, but yeah. Some of these names for these NPCs, man. Oh, they like just throw a bunch of letters together and pray that it makes something. It's basically what it is. Like, as long as the characters have a vowel, the rest of the is like random consonants and like a vowel. Because very, very few of these names are you would actually consider as true names. Which is just why? Ooh, Vulpix. Oh. I guess you kind of see it there with Vulpix, but there are a handful of Pokemon that are, because the era this game came out, some of the Pokemon use their Pokemon Stadium sprites from N64 era. Like, they're not like literally like Porygon level of polygons, but they should have been updated. Most of them in this game are, like, that you'll encounter in the story, look fine, shy of things like this Vulpix. Obviously, if you were to trade Pokemon in because it was Gen 3 and you could trade, then those you would definitely see. It's far worse in Gale of Darkness, because in that one, a lot of the Pokemon that you're actually given an option to catch as shadows are those Gen 1 Pokemon that have not had a graphical update. Oh, nice crit. Didn't expect to kill the Vulpix that turn, but great. Oh, and level Umbreon. Get to learn Confuse Ray. Let's get rid of Snatch, because Snatch is so... like, I don't even know if... I don't think Snatch even exists as a move in current gen Pokemon. Because even, like, back then, it was so niche. I didn't know what it did in this game until, like, just general, like, playing is like, I mean, when I first kind of was playing this, I was still in the era of, does it do damage? No. Does it heal? No. And why do I have it on my party? I did eventually start actually seeing what these moves did. Figuring out what Snatch did took a while, and it's probably, again, because I don't think a move exists currently in current gen. What it did is you would have a heightened priority for the turn to basically get ready. And if any other Pokemon if it was one-on-one, obviously it would just trigger against the opponent. In a double battle, if any other Pokemon, even your partner, tried using a move that affected stats in some way, either by raising them or lowering them for your opponent, the Pokemon using Snatch would take it and use it instead. So, like, it could steal a Dragon Dance from an opponent. Or if an enemy was trying to use something like, say, Growl or Tail Whip, just because they're low level and simple, you would similarly, instead of being affected by them, you would use them on the opponent. It was kind of like an activated and more powerful version of, like, Magic Guard in a way, but for stats alone. Like the Magic Guard ability. Or maybe better off to say, no. I was gonna think about Corviknight's mirror armor, but that doesn't, it's not the same thing. Yeah. Snatch could definitely have had a use case, but again, I don't know how many people even knew the movie existed, or how few Pokemon even got it on their move pools, and two, like, when are you ever gonna use it? It's essentially a the stat changing version. Yeah, the stat altering version of like a counter or mirror coat. While those two moves have their place, it's very much about like a guessing game. And it's like, oh, nice. Thanks for the present, Delibird. And like that guessing game, like for counter or mirror coat, you're trying to guess that you will basically, that A, your opponent is using the right physical or special attack for which one you're using. But also, you're also essentially trying to guess to say that that A, they're using that move, and B, it's not going to outright knock you out. But where those two have benefits over Snatch is that they actually do damage. With Snatch, all you're doing is stealing a stat, like a way of changing someone's stats. Now again, if you could steal stuff like Dragon Dance, that was amazing. Because it's like, if you have a Pokemon that just sits there and like spamming Snatch every turn, the opponent can't use Dragon Dance. Now, of course, if you do that and you're facing a human, they're just not going to click it. You're going to waste your turn. But if you could get it one or two hitting at the right moment, stealing their Dragon Dance, Now, I would say that would have an impact on the battle, but not really, because I'm pretty sure the number of Pokemon that actually got Snatch were Pokemon like Umbreon, who, if they stole the Dragon Lance, so what? Anyway, here we won. You get cash prize. And every time, the first 5 times you win in each Colosseum, I think it's 5, might be 4, you get a TM. It basically, while it won't be continual, like you can't just constantly going after them and like building up a stock of TMs. It's more that each time or for every win until you've gotten each of the TMs on the list once, at which point there's no more TMs to give you. So that was TM6 Toxic. Ooh. Well, interrupt my thoughts. Hi there, you must be the superb trainer who has emerged triumphant in our latest battle challenge. Mirror B, the town's true mover and shaker, wishes you to have a gorgeous gift. Now, follow me. Right, I'm back with our latest challenge champion. Let's present our lucky winner with a shadow Pokemon and watch Chaos Unleashed. Oh, nice one. Our new champ is quite the appealing charmer. It makes a nice change from the parade of macho musclemen. Wait, this isn't happening. This guy, he's that Sapphire guy that Mr. Mirror B's been carrying on about. What? That same guy who messed with us in Fennec City? Gah, I didn't know that when I let him in here. I'll boot you back out. Yanma and Pineco. Oh, well. Shadow Yanma. He has more. I wonder if they're all bugs. Because if so, this peon is clearly a bug catcher. And just decided to, like, trade his net for a ascot. One thing about the Yanma is Yanma does have access to 2 abilities in this gen. One is Speed Boost, which we will very clearly be able to tell whether it has or not, because the end of turn it will gain a stat increase. Nope, it has Speed Boost, okay. The other possibility is that it could have Compound Eyes, which raises its accuracy. But again, this one clearly has Speed Boost. And I have no intention of resetting for the other. I mean, just because this one has... This is one of the few Pokemon where, as a Shadow, you can actually tell what ability it has before you catch it. But that's fine. I'm going with the same rule. I want to catch it regardless, because I don't want to have to reset. Also, I'm pretty sure this is the one of the first fights where we cannot refight this trainer until we've beaten the game. Because that's another interesting mechanic in this one. Is other than the dual square and a handful of very specific trainers, most Shadow Pokemon, if you fail your first attempt at catching them from the trainer, like just as you're going through the story, you won't get another chance to face that trainer until the game is done. Now, granted, there is a way at the end for you to just constantly reattempt old trainers like that. But again, that is post-game. And remember, Shadows don't gain levels. So if you miss, let's say for example, I've somehow failed to capture this Yanma, or it's like, failed to capture this Yanma at level 33 now. If I have to wait until post-game, it's still going to be a level 33 Yanma. The rest of this guy's team is going to fully level up and evolve potentially, and whatever, according to whatever level I face him at. But the Yanma is going to be stuck at 33. And not just that, but there are a handful of Shadow Pokemon that are distinctly lower level than the rest of the team, like the levels on the team of the guy, or whoever you're facing. It's like, oh, that was an early Shadow Pokemon, and it hasn't gained any levels because NPCs don't purify them. That should make it real easy to capture now. We've got the secret power paralysis. And again, given that I've played this game numerous times, I know after the Shadow Yanma, it is actually the next Shadow Pokemon we come across is actually the pair. The pair, like, when I told you in like my rules about not resetting for stats, but potentially resetting if I don't capture all the Pokemon, this is basically that instance, because it's you have to fight 2 trainers in a row, like one right after the other. They both have Shadow Pokemon. Now, the first, thankfully, their Shadow is only level 20, so is generally a very, like, as long as you don't one-shot it, it should be a fairly easy capture. It's just the fact that you have to not only capture that first one, but also have enough left in the tank, essentially, either because of your team being healthy enough and enough Pokeballs that you can actually fight and capture the second one as well. It's useless. I don't stand a chance of winning. Now hold on. You're the one who brought him here. And they ran away. Oh, you're safe. I heard you entered this building. It had me worried. King, this is where they were giving shadow Pokemon to the winners of battle challenges. Shadow Pokemon? Those ferocious Pokemon that even attack people? Yes, they're giving away shadow Pokemon to thugs for some reason. It doesn't look good. Grr, they were using the Colosseum to do that? Big lady, my Papa's Pokemon was taken away by Mirror B as a prisoner. He did what? Mirror B used a dirty move like that. It's Papa's Plusle. I'm so worried that it might be mean to it. It's humiliating, but with Plusle in their filthy hands, my own hands are tied. He's not getting away with this, that rotten Mirror B. But we're here now. We'll get Plusle back for you, right, Sapphire? Yep. I know I can always count on you, Sapphire. King, it's dangerous inside this building. You've got to get everyone out to safety. Thanks for everything. I have to depend on you. I have no choice. Be careful, always. Mirror B might look like a clown, but his battling is all business. We have this little thing here. In file. H is written on the cover. Read it. Hyper mode. Shadow Pokemon, perhaps because of their own overwhelming power, may behave abnormally at times. They may engage in such behavior as ignoring orders, even turning on their own trainers in battle. This I have named Hyper Mode. On the plus side, Hyper Mode raises the critical ratio of Shadow Rush. However, Hyper Mode also prevents the use of items on the Pokemon. Hyper Mode is easily dispelled. Simply call the Pokemon by name. However, this method has a major drawback. Calling the Shadow Pokemon's name causes the closed door of its heart to loosen and even open. Further research is urgently needed. Shadow Pokemon Lab, Chief Ian. Well, Espeon's taken a bit of a beating. Oh, Quilava learned Smokescreen. But we've got PC and a health pack right there. Just need to go... Need to make it around the corner. Nope. Damn it. Couldn't make it in time. Well, just random mook. Also, interestingly, the levels on the Pokemon in here are above level 30 now. Just for the random Pokemon too. So you are kind of expected to grind a bit on dual square trainers to get some XP, which is perfectly fine. I am going to try not to. Yes, too strong. You need a level. So, let's heal. Get Espeon back to full. Now, let's quickly take a look at our new Yanma. Once I shift it around. So we know he had a speed boost. And comparison to Compound Eyes. No item. And we know from the battle that some of its moves are Sonic Boom and Supersonic. So. Save the Yanma. was that other trainer over here. Chaser Kai. See, like, that actually would be a name. There isn't a reason why I went back to take on this trainer. That's because we will have to go through there, or go through that elevator later in the story. And she is still here. Her does not gain, her Pokemon do not gain any levels in the meantime. So if I were to avoid her now, instead of giving me a decent challenge and a decent amount of XP for beating her, she would be a little more than a roadblock and a waste of effort. Basically, I'm fighting her instead of going to fight another trainer or two in Dual Square. Nice. Espeon's trying to learn Swift. Never miss, 60, but hits both targets. I am going to get rid of Return. And that's because I don't anticipate needing to use Return all that often. I'm basically going to be using Confusion unless I'm fighting something that's either Dark type or Resistant or super high special defense. And, I mean, if it's super high special defense, then obviously Confusion is not going to matter. Or doesn't matter how strong Confusion is, like Return, whatever. The difference between the two is more that Swift, 1, does not miss, and 2, hits both targets. So if something's in red HP, I just want to finish it off. Instead of wasting a Return or Confusion, or Umbreon, potentially having to have Umbreon attack it while Umbreon is slow, I can use Swift to finish it off immediately. Or at the start of the turn because Espeon is so fast. Also, yes, the fact that Swift doesn't miss will come into play. So not for a little while. And done. Makuhita is ready to undo its heart gauge. So, when the opportunity arises for me to go down and heal and save, I'll swap him out for another Shadow. Start working on it. Ramarade and a Magnemite. You know, just because it's basically dead anyway. Swap Quilava in, get some joining the battle unlock, however little it is. Even though it does mean that it's getting a share of the XP, but not really. I should probably just start cutting out a lot of these battles. 5 Great Balls. Free. Still only need the 1, technically, but... The reason why I'm still going through instead of going back to heal is just the sheer amount of walking that would require. Until Espeon faints, I have no reason, like there's no rush for me to go back. I've got all the Shadow Pokemon on my team that I'm not using. Now granted, if I were to use them, they don't get XP. And if Espeon faints, Espeon doesn't get XP. But there's so much walking, I may as well just go. Or just keep going. Hey, level 32 Umbreon. I will go back and heal now just because I don't remember what's at the top of those stairs. I don't want to accidentally walk into the double fight. Swap in the next shadow. Okay, good. There is another floor. Wanted to make sure. And was probably better to go heal before I went up to the next floor anyway. Because that would have been that would have meant even more backtracking. Oh, this is a perfect opportunity then. With how little health Swablu has, I can go for a Swift. Swablu's down. The Ladybug takes the hit. That also actually showcases the fact that attacks that split targets split their damage amongst the targets hit. Yeah, like, cause that was Gen 3 mechanic. Gen 3 double battle mechanics were very interesting. Check them once again. Nothing in here, okay. One revive. Nice. Hunter Tati. Oof. Wow. Umbreon one-shot something. And it wasn't even a super effective hit or crit. Wow. take out her. So after this battle, I'm going to go back down, heal, and save again. Come on, move, Bianca. Yep, the roof. Okay. Well, take a look at our team. Starting open. The Slugma is actually opening faster than the Misdreavus. In we go. Darling, aren't you one of Duking's people? What made you think that you could simply waltz in here? Such a silly boy. Grr, where's Mirror B? I'm taking him down. Take him down? After the beating you took? That's too funny. You wait. I'm gonna drive all of you out of this town. Oh, such a feisty boy. Don't tell me we have to take your Pokemon hostage to make you settle down, like we did with Duking. What? Oh, we seem to be getting a lot of unexpected company today. But that's no excuse for being a bad host. Mirror BP on Wreath. A level 20 Remoraid. A level 33 Spinarak. I'm going to ignore the Remoraid for the moment and try to just take out its partners. Oh, it's a freaking love disc. Wow, thing's 10 levels lower than me and it crit me. But does it have Sniper? No. No, Sniper didn't exist then. Does it have Hustle? Oh, actually, yes, it does have Hustle, because Sniper didn't exist. Remoraid only has the one ability, which is Hustle. Which, of course, gives a boost to physical moves at the cost of accuracy. But Shadow Rush is a physical move. Remoraid actually has half decent attack, too. Stop that. Thank you. Love disc is down. He leveled. Both of them. Beautiful. How did that happen? Unbelievable. My Pokemon couldn't muster a thing. You're no ordinary trainer. Were you hired by Duking as his bodyguards? Let me warn you, if you mess with us, you'd better be prepared for the consequences. Mirror BP on Firma. See what I mean about shadow Pokemon immediately followed by another battle? Shadow Remoraid into Shadow Mantine. I've always called it Mantine. And of course, like Remoraid is super low level, which does make it fairly easy to capture. But Mantine is just, it's actually extremely bulky. And comes with Bubble Beam. Ass. Well. No, actually, I'm not going to send out Quilava against a Mantine. That knows Bubble Beam. And I did pick up that revive. I might end up needing it. We'll see. The risky thing as well is that technically I think Mantine also has takedown. Well, that's a dead Mysteries. Okay, Quagsire, you're up. Because yes, I brought 2 fire types to a battle against a Mantine, or Shadow Mantine. Yes, the paralysis. Good. Now I can start chucking balls. Having secret power in the building is great here. A Mantine always... Yep. Mantine's actually got a shit catch rate. Oh, for it. Non-shadow, of course. See, this is where having a water-absorbed Quagsire would be useful. Instead, mine has damp. Ooh, Hyper Mode Quagsire. Which is good, because Yanma has like has only 1 health left. Also, there's no way the Pokemon are properly to scale at this point, right? There's no way a Yanma should be as long as a person is tall. Right? Breathe. Let's make ourselves scarce for the time being. Righto, Firma. Ultra Super Fire Dash. I know I completely lost their voice. My voice is for them, but... Speak to Silva. Ugh. Ow. Thank you. You saved me. Do you people know Duking? Yep. Okay. I'm a fool. I didn't know what was happening at all. They'd taken Duking's Pokemon hostage. How could they do something so downright dirty? That's why we're here. We came to rescue Plusle. I'm going too. Oh, ow. Not in your condition. You'll have to wait here. We meet again, kiddies. Mirror B, you cowardly cheat. Cowardly cheat? That's so not true. Taking a hostage is perfectly fine as a bargaining tactic. You call that a tactic? Plusle had better be okay. Oh, the darling couldn't be any safer if it tried. I'm sure it will come to adore me before too much longer. You've got to be kidding. Where is it? Give it back. No running or hiding for me. Come to the cave. That's where I'll be. I'll be waiting for you, my pretties. And there's another book. Ian File. S. Shadow Pokemon. A Shadow Pokemon is a Pokemon that has been made into a fighting machine by artificially shutting the door to its heart. What we didn't know is that the Shadow Pokemon exude a dark aura that can't normally be seen by the human eye. Unfortunately, a girl with the ability to see this dark aura has been discovered. This is a major problem. The girl could become a huge obstacle for our Shadow Pokemon plan. A solution to this threat is urgently needed. Shadow Pokemon Lab Chief, Ian. Well, let's head back down. Lovely, there's an elevator right here. Ooh, an item box. 3 Hyper Potions. Nice. Wait, what? God damn it. Well. Let's restore health. Check on our Mantine and Remoraid. And let's move them out of the way. So here's the Remoraid, and again, with Hustle, because that's the only ability it gets in this gen. And again, level 20, which makes it actually really difficult to get this Remoraid purified prior to actually having decent access to purification methods. Now, Mantine. Okay, we got a water absorb Mantine. Good. Could also, it's the other possibility is that it could have had Swift Swim, which, while not useless in this game, is far harder to trigger because there's so few Pokemon you can get as Shadows have access to Rain Dance, and there's very, very few trainers that will actively use Rain Dances either. So like having Swift Swim, it's great for those few battles. Water Absorb is far more going to be actively engaged and encountered. Save them both. And next time, we head up, or back up to the top, go into the cave, see if we can make our way to Mirror B. So, like, subscribe, comment down below. See you next time. Adieu.